All right, we're going to turn paint time into story time.
Aw, sweet! I love stories. You gonna talk about that one time you went to New Orleans with your brother, and then you guys went to that strip?
No, we're definitely not telling that story.
Man, dang it. That's such a good story. Man, you guys, when you went...
We're not talking about that. But what I do want to talk about is the legend of Peter Rottentail.
Don't you mean Cottontail?
Nope, I mean Rottentail.
Rottentail? Who the heck is Peter Rottentail?
Here's the thing. Peter Rottentail, he's from the dark side of Easter. He's the one bunny you don't want showing up at your house.
Ooh, creepy. A bunny from the dark side. he's like, Peter Cottontail, I am your father.
No, dude, not that dark side. More like a dark side where everything rots and dies. A place where only evil survives.
Whoa, all right. Let's hear it.
So legend has it that every Easter, Peter Rottentail, he comes out to harvest the souls of rotten children.
Oh yeah? And how exactly does he do that?
Easy. With just his touch.
What? His touch?
Yep, his touch. It's been told that everything Rottentail touches starts to decay and die. So on Easter Eve, Rottentail follows Peter Cottontail to every child's home across the world, looking for those rotten children.
Well, how does he tell who's rotten and who's not rotten?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. This is where the story gets really creepy. Legend says that he crawls up into bed with the kids, crawls all the way up to their chest, and then using the sharp point of one of his claws, he pokes them in the forehead to wake them up.
Whoa.
When they wake up, all they can see are the piercing yellow eyes of Rottentail. Caught up in his gaze, they're unable to move or scream. He stares deep into their soul. If they're truly good, he wipes the memory from their heads and hops away. If they're a little rotten, he leaves the memory there so it haunts their dreams and rots their candy after he leaves. But if they're rotten to the core...
Well, what happens if they're rotten to the core?
If they're rotten to the core, well, he gently places his hand on their forehead and watches as their bodies shrivel up and decay. Then he takes their little rotten bodies, puts them back in his basket, and heads off to the dark side, where he can harvest their souls.
Whoa, man. That's crazy. Good thing it's just a story.
Just a story, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a good thing it's just a story. A huge shout out to all my patrons. You're the reasons I stick with this crazy dream, and I appreciate the fact that you've stuck in there.
Which is amazing, because you've done nothing lately.
Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. And until next time, keep making something
from nothing.